We are live on my Facebook. Thanks for joining. If you guys could share and like and comment on the live, and give you guys a shout out. And you guys can hear it. We have, for those who are on TikTok, we have Justin, aka I Stand On Mine. And then we have Darian. Did I pronounce that right?
Darian.
Yes, I did it. Darian, Tempe against police violence. I guess you would consider them, I don't know, night crawlers,
First Amendment activists,
that part.
cop watchers,
Cop watchers, yes, all that.
human rights, civil rights activists.
Yes. So, this is Vendor Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Britt, aka 5150. We are here to give these men a platform to let everybody know what they do. They do not get paid for their duties, I guess you say, not even duties. Shit. Other than Facebook. They do that all on their own.
Work.
Yeah, activism work. So they put their life on the line. In my opinion, that's, you guys are serious like that. I know you guys have been doing it for a while. I found them both because of TikTok. So make sure you guys follow them on TikTok. They're in my comments, but you guys, I tagged them both in video. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. We want to hear all about y'all's experiences. We're gonna cover everything. So trigger warning. We're gonna try to be PG, but just so you know, like, they record anything and everything pretty much. They both have scanners. I know you're mostly in Tempe-ish. Yeah. And then you do mostly Phoenix and Blade, which we are currently on. They deal everything with traffic stops, DUI stops, ICE protests, anything and everything you possibly think of that come over off the scanner. That's what they handle, and they are not afraid to hold police officers accountable, but they also are there to keep everyone safe. I think you guys do a huge service for the community, and I don't think you guys get the credit you guys deserve. There's a lot of trolls on there. I think they're harassing the cops, harassing the people. They don't really understand what the seriousness is that you guys cover. They just think, oh, get out the way, or they want to troll the cops and say, oh, like, say what's up to them, or tell them this or tell them that, and blah, blah. It's like they don't understand that people like you guys put your life on the line. It's very dangerous, whether it's to get arrested. Like, poor Mr. Tempe over here just got arrested recently for nothing, for complying, and some cop just had that time of month or something. I don't know what her problem was, but she had an issue. So he just got arrested not too long ago. And I know if you guys follow him, he does have a news article, right, on your profile. What can you tell us what that's about?
Go ahead. Refresh myself with what this article
is. That's how I found you. So yeah, it's serious because they're like, and how long have you been doing this, by the way?
I've been in the activism community since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It all started in 2016 in July when the Tempe Police Department, shot and unalived my homie that I've known for years. It's unfortunate he was doing something wrong. I believe that everybody has what's it called? They have to be able to go through the court system.
Mm-hmm.
Cop is not judge, jury, and executioner.
Right.
Especially a cop who has many cases documented as being mentally unstable,
mm-hmm.
and then they get cleared. So
mm-hmm.
I've been protesting the cops since 2016 and filming the police since 2018.
Nice. And what originally got you involved in wanting to do that and like willing to risk like your life or whatever, just being passionate about it enough to do it so consistently up until now?
So protesting, I just wanted to be the voice. It started off as protesting.
Mm-hmm.
In 2016, I was upset that the police took my friend's life.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going out to protest, and I wanted to help make the difference. I started organizing protests, reaching out to families who are victims of police violence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the family of Dalvin Hollins, Antonio Arce, Anthony Cano,
mm-hmm.
The list goes on. I'm technically a voice for those who no longer have the voice.
Mhm.
So it's the thing that inspires me is to be able to speak up for the people outside.
Mhm. Right. Fun.
So you know, I want to speak up for people who aren't here no more, people who aren't willing to come out and face the police, face the people who are in charge of taking people from their families.
Mhm. Mhm. That's crazy. And why did you decide to do it, Justin? And when did you start?
I've been doing little things here and there, recording like the police do things, talking to people about their rights, but I haven't been real active like I have been over the past year and a half, 2 years
Mhm.
doing this. It took what I've seen going on with the police now and the administration currently.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's time we got to speak up and actually say something. Just sitting there and recording just for our personal. I was doing it like personally recording incidents that was happening, talking to people, and I give them information.
Mhm.
But I wasn't doing it on a full scale level like I am now, where I'm live showing the rest of the community what's going on
Mhm.
until recent. And
Mhm.
it's just the injustice that we're seeing now.
Mhm.
I feel like more and more people need to be doing what we're doing and speak up and help.
Right. And so for the people, like, if you are encouraging people to do that, what would you say would be like, I don't know, maybe the top 5 things to keep in mind or to make sure that they have, like, whether it's morals, standards, procedures, whatever, like, what would you think is like the top thing that is
Well,
important
have
for you
an
guys?
understanding of what they're getting involved with.
Mm-hmm.
They have to know their laws.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be willing to learn all this stuff, because a lot of people will go out here and they'll start on this path of doing things, but they'll think that they know the law.
Right.
And they're completely misinformed, and it ends up creating more harm than good at the end, because you're getting people in trouble because you're giving them bad advice.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting yourself in trouble because you're not doing things the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even doing it the right way, we still have a risk of being in trouble.
Right.
Because police and them don't like us to inform people of their rights.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the fact.
Mm-hmm.
They like you to be uneducated.
Right.
So they have to be informed of what they're doing, but they got to know these risks, because the risk ain't just going to jail. The risk out here is people don't always know what we're doing. They don't always know that we're there to help and monitor what the police are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So people will often try to attack us while we're at a scene.
Right. Yeah, I've definitely seen that before.
Yeah. So, and a lot of them, they'll after a while of communicating with us, they'll understand what we're doing. They'll thank us for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they got to be informed that they got to do it safe as they can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's important. Safety is that, because I know I watched both of your guys' lives, and like when there's a cool cop, I don't feel like you guys are too much in danger. But then sometimes, like when that's happening, everything's going smoothly. Like I see the people in the comments, and they're like talking all this crap about you guys, thinking that you guys are harassing the cops, and you guys are just videotaping. You're not even doing anything. You're just videotaping. And there's people that just like pop off and say like terrible things in the comments. And I just feel like it's unfair for you guys to be judged on certain things, especially when it's like they just pop in just to be trolls. You know what I mean? So I think it's important to highlight the positive that you guys do. And like, so since you've been doing it for a long time, what's something that keeps you going, you know, for this whole entire time, dealing with the trolls, dealing with cops, all that stuff, being arrested, like putting your life on the line? Like, what is it that keeps you going, you know, and wanting to deal with all that shit?
It's being able to hold them accountable. You know, I understand things are not going to change, but as long as we keep holding a camera up and filming everything, you know, it helps the word get out. You know, the police they're not our friends. You know, every time we go out there, we are putting ourselves at risk. Not only with the police, but like Justin said, people don't know what we are doing out there. A lot of the times we have people accusing us like, yo, are you working with the police? Like, why are you filming us? And we have to like break it down to them like, no, bro. Me personally, I really do not care about any of these individuals that put on a uniform with that badge or that tool belt. You know what I mean? I don't speak for Justin or anybody else that rolls around with me, but I do not care. I think that more people should pick up their camera and point it at cops.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a normal sight to see since 2020 when George Floyd was taken.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's becoming even more regular with the current situation in America with ICE running around and taking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people to be steered away when I say this. You know, you've got to know your rights.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to understand that you may not make it home at night. And I'm not talking about going to jail. There has been many situations where I've had to take cover behind walls because there's bullets flying. I've had to hide behind engine blocks of police cars because they are yelling at us like, yo, this person has a gun. I really don't care. I'm there to try and catch the rawest footage for the community because the news censors everything. So what keeps me going is because I never know what that next call is going to be. I love the adrenaline. I know that I am responsible for my own consequences, whether I get injured while out here doing it, whether I go to jail. As you know, Justin was there. On Sunday, I was just arrested in Mesa.
I know, it's crazy.
It's one of the few departments that have not got me. It has finally got me, and they're charging me with interfering with a police officer because I told this short little Latina cop, relax.
Right, yeah.
Everybody told me, oh, you got arrested because you told a woman calm down. Like, no.
Which is not legal, even though we'd like it to be. It is not legal.
it's beyond that. We have been filming in Mesa for years.
Right.
And this is before I knew Justin. We've been filming in Mesa for years. They have turned their scanners encrypted, so when people want to listen to their radio frequencies, it's an hour delay.
What?
And so they are trying to deter us from going out there. They have passed city ordinances, city codes, and all sorts of other stuff to try and deter us. And now anytime you're out there, it's either you listen or you go to jail. You go behind that tape or you go to jail. If you don't bow down to us, you go to jail. So, like I said, it's the adrenaline that keeps me going.
So, is it safe to say that Mesa cops don't play like how Phoenix can kind of sort of get away with it?
I would say if you are trying to do what we do and you are going out to Mesa,
you're probably going to get arrested.
You're more than likely going to get
bail
arrested because
people.
You do not know what they are up to by being Justin. The second they tell you to move back, do not think it's a game. Do not try and do what I do and mess around with them. Like, oh, that's a flat tire. And you're trying to push us back for a flat tire. No, it's listen to them, you guys. You know, you may not know the laws like I do. I may seem like I know all this stuff when people ask me, but I'm not a lawyer. None of the stuff I give is legal advice.
Right,
you know?
exactly. Keep that in mind, people. You watch these guys; they are not professional.
But see, on another thing, there's multiple instances where Tempe sat there in front of different officers from different departments and have gave a person that's being in custody advice on the scene, and they're like, yo, he's just trying to help you, he's giving you good advice. So they know he knows a lot about the law out there. So it's not like he doesn't have a legal degree, so he's not a lawyer. You know what I mean? So you can't take it as that type of advice, but the advice that he is giving you is good advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And I think that it is, do this stuff at your own risk. But also, if you guys are, following, watching, liking, whatever, don't troll. In my opinion, don't troll them. They don't deserve that. They are human beings. They got families. They got, people that care about them. And if you guys do things, you guys don't understand like the impact that you guys have, whether it's just like comments or if you guys want to take it to the next level and have some type of feeling because you disagree with what they do, just keep scrolling. Like no one's forcing you guys to watch them. You know what I mean? And it's just unsafe to, like, I don't know what, like say that you guys are at a certain place and they may not agree with what you guys do and they roll up on you when you're not, you're paying attention to like what you're doing, right? And somebody rolls up on you because they got like an issue with what you're doing all of a sudden, and then they try to take it in their own hands.
That happens with us when we're recording out anyway. Somebody will pass by and your life just paused.
We still alive on this one.
But so there's many instances of where that's happened, where people's trying to press Darian or me while we're out there, just because we're recording. They're not involved with the incident at all, but they happen to see us out there recording,
right?
And they'll try to intimidate us and try to fight us, but we're not doing anything other than recording and making sure that nobody's being hurt and that their rights ain't being violated. So it's an ongoing thing. It's always going to happen because that's just how people are when they don't understand something or they just don't agree with it. They feel like they got to get hostile and try to deter us from doing it.
What do you think that is? Is it just because they don't understand, or is it just people that are against, for the president or whatever? Or
I think it's more or less along the lines that people do not understand what we are doing out there. A lot of the people here in Phoenix, especially here on the Blade, they are up to nefarious activities. You know what I mean? So when we are out there, they don't realize that we are trying to keep them from getting their ass beat. We, like I said, we know that people are out there on doing nefarious activities. We understand the dangers of being out here. It's endless.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I think that people need to appreciate you guys more. I mean, it's crazy because like it's important, like regardless of what you guys doing, like even for the people that you are videotaping, and I know some people get all upset, like, oh, you can't record them without their permission, but like the thing is, it's a free country, right? And you guys know the law with stuff, and you guys are still respectful. Like I know with Justin specifically, I saw one time that when you were on the Blade, you're in an apartment complex, and a 304 just happened to walk past you, and you already preemptively knew that they were gonna walk past you, and you didn't show them, and yet the lady in the background, I hear her say, "Don't record me! I didn't give you permission." You're like, I'm not showing anything. I'm going to do this.
Well, my perspective of everything out here is like, especially on the Blade, I know a lot of these girls are being abused in traffic, and there's a lot of them that's out there on their own free will doing what they're doing. I mean, it is what it is. There's whatever they're doing, they're doing. You know what I mean? And my job out there isn't to record them and show what they're doing,
right?
But it's to film these police officers out there and the interactions and make sure that they're not violating people's rights, like you said. There's a lot of underage girls that end up seen out here on the Blade. And I'll purposely make sure that I'm not recording them at all. If I walk up and I know that it's somebody that's possibly underage, that camera doesn't even go live.
That's good.
So
people need to be important. You guys are aware of this,
It's a lot of people who think that we work with the cops because we are out there filming this. Like I said, it's not that. Like I said, I'm more well versed with a lot of these laws and the rights while out there filming. So I'm trying to tell them like, yo, I'm here for you. I want to make sure that these cops are not beating you up. I'm not out here working with the cops. I'm not out here like, yo, this guy's breaking into the fucking cars over here. I know you can get him right now.
Right.
It's like, we're not out here working with the cops. We are trying to make sure, as we're talking about cops, they're honking.
Yeah, literally right now. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that literally happened right now.
Like what Darian differs from the way that I do it. Like neither one of us are trying to be friends with these cops.
Right. Exactly.
The way he does things is a little bit different from how I do it. But our angle is very similar.
Right.
I look at the perspective of not every cop out here is bad, because I've run into some pretty decent cops. But there's a lot of them out here that need therapy. They need vacations away from this because they're overworked and overstressed.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them that just simply don't need to be here. They're not upholding the laws.
Right.
They're hurting people. It's pointless for them to be out here and not doing something to better the community.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, protect and serve.
Protecting and serving the community. And if they're not working to better themselves and their mental health while they're out here, they're just making it worse. They don't need to be out here at all.
I agree, and I feel like there could be like they could have gone into the police force with good intentions at one point or in the beginning, but I feel like with any human, when you start seeing stuff that messes with your psyche, and especially as men, you guys are been told, don't cry, don't show your weakness, this, that, and the other, and like there's only so many things that person can see and experience in their life without it really affecting them and like changing who they are and break them, as they say, or like have them nightmares. And if they won't address that and learn coping skills and go to the therapy and they're gonna like have all that trauma and then take it out on the citizens. You know what I mean? And they turn from a good cop to a bad cop.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think that's important to highlight the good cops that are doing our thing, that, interact with you guys, that are positive. I think it is really important to highlight that. And I don't think that you guys are rude to them in that way. Like when you guys deal with a good cop, like shoot, I remember one time specifically with Justin, there's a really hot cop down on Mill Avenue. I was like,
everybody loves
I love him. He looks amazing.
We get inside our lives all the time.
Yep. Like, hey, tell him what's up.
The thing, like, I want to go back to like how these cops are.
Right.
I personally think that right now we're in a state of emergency when it comes to police activity here in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
We just had an article come out on the 11th about 7 officer involved shootings in 1 week.
That's crazy.
We need to evaluate these officers' mental health evals, background checks, drug test them, because they are out here getting into the shit.
I mean, they make movies on that for a reason.
7 officer involved shootings. The Arizona Police Union is alarmed.
And they need a lot more training, because look at the thing what happened with that Valley father recently that was holding the intruder, and he ended up being shot and unalive.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy. And like stuff like the one guy got shot. I don't know if he did it or her brother did it, but it was like in the foot or something like that. And then there's a lot of things where people that have mental health illness and they're having like an episode, and the cops come, and they don't know how to deal with it, or they don't know that they have a mental health issue, and then they instantly take them down because they're resisting and all that stuff.
Well, that was another point that I was going to get across too, is that there's a lot of people out here with mental health issues. These police do not know how to respond to these people. I feel like they should be taking some kind of mental health classes or training to understand how to deal with them better. And if not every single officer, at least some of them, so that they can get some officers out there that's qualified to deal with them. I feel like some of them officers should step away and let the officers that's qualified to deal with that situation.
I think that's a good idea, because I mean they have like they call in the professionals for like hostage situations, like talking them off the bridge or whatever. And I feel like they should have somebody when they aren't sure, like maybe to like how they do like sexual harassment like stuff in every single business ever. Like they need to have that for the cops, where it's like, okay, these are the signs for like a schizophrenic, or like this is a sign for someone who has, I don't know, freaking autism or whatever the case may be. Like these are things you need to be aware of. I know that they can't be trained 100% to like be a like psychologist or anything like that, but I think especially the cops that have been around for a long time, I feel like they are used to everybody lying to them, treating them like shit, like instantly want to like pop off or whatever, and that's not the case. There's a lot of people that are unmedicated, especially out here in this area.
It's a lot of these officers who are out here who are allowing the issues at home to take effect with what they're doing here in the streets. So, you might have an abusive wife at home, and that turns you into an abusive man. You know what I mean? And then you go out into the streets, you put your badge on, you put that gun on on your waist, and now you have these officers who are hyped up on fucking 12 milligrams in and a fucking Red Bull, shooting the wrong person.
Right.
And like that goes back to what he was saying. South Phoenix, there was a shooting the other week where people were warning the officer that you know, they were warning the officer, this guy, he's got the shooter down. They took the gun from him. Don't shoot him. And the officer immediately shot. And over the years of doing all of this and paying attention to all these officer-involved shootings, the lawsuits, the court cases, and everything, I hate to say it, everybody, but don't expect this guy to lose his job.
That part.
It's going to go through court, and they're going to be like, oh, these officers react to split decision. But like I said, it all goes down to being hopped up on 12 milligrams in Red Bull and whatever fucking else they found in somebody else's car earlier that night. So yeah, we need to figure something out. 7 officer involved shootings in 1 week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Obviously, that's not one per day. That's multiple per day.
And those are just the ones we hear about.
Right. Yeah.
And see, another thing about what we do out here is we see a lot of stuff that's altered in the news. Because we'll be out here recording the stuff out here live for everybody, but you'll hear it differently on the news. You'll see it differently on Citizen app, neighborhood app. Whoever's reporting the stuff, they don't know what's actually going on, and it's getting reported at a different way, and the community sees it differently when they see it by, okay, well, the news is saying this is what's happening out here. A lot of people just tend to follow that narrative.
Right.
But we're out here actually recording what's happening on these streets and showing it to the people. So
live.
Hey, there's a real life footage right there for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not biased. Like, I know that all the news things, they all have some, kind of agenda or whatever, or they are required to only show certain things. They do little like glimpses or whatever the case may be. And with you guys, that's why I value you guys so much, because there is no editing. It's live. It's like in real time. You know what I mean? And you guys don't have a bias. Like, other than, I guess your own personal thing, but you can't control what's going on. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. So people need to appreciate the fact that you guys are out there, because there isn't a lot of people that can do what you guys do. And it's definitely valued, definitely. So to lighten up the mood a tiny bit, I want each of you to share something that's like a funny moment, like from all the times you guys have done stuff, like something funny that you've seen in person.
With like years of doing it, I think the funniest moments always come from Mill Avenue.
Yeah.
It's just endless being down there. There's people drunk dancing with fucking parking meters. There's cops just absolutely trolling people. People getting caught pissing behind the trash cans, and they're like, oh, what did I do wrong? Well, dude, like, the funniest thing I think has to be probably seeing the cops just simply falling off of their bikes.
Oh my God, that really happens?
It's like, it's not that they fall off their bike, but it's hitting that front brake.
Oh shit, they go over it. No way. That's why I have not seen that. I did see one recently, I don't know whose life it was on, where a dude touched a cop's horse, and a cop on a bike like came through and like arrested the dude right away. Like, the guy touched the horse.
Yeah, you can't touch the
horse. It's like, because he's like a cop.
Everybody wants us to touch. Yeah, the horse is considered an officer. So I mean, and everybody wants us to go touch the horse, pet the horses out there. We can't do that.
Right, exactly.
We'll go straight to jail.
And that's another thing that people understand. Like, there's the reasons why. Like, most you guys are really good at addressing your commenters and stuff like that. At least on TikTok, where I follow you both on there, and I just feel like, I think some people, I don't know if they're guys or girls, doesn't matter, but they like suggest certain things, or they like, use that, like the live, or that fact that you're busy, whatever, or like they try to bait you guys into acting out or doing something stupid. And I know that you guys both use your own personal judgment. You're not doing this shit to like act in front of people. You're there for the community.
I mean, if you watch my Mill Avenue live streams, if you listen to me, you know something's about to happen when I'm standing there and I go, uh-oh. Because I'm looking around, at stuff that the camera's not necessarily pointed at.
Right.
I'll have drunk little white girls trying to come over and put their hands up on my camera. They'll try and You know, like we were mentioning earlier, why are you out here filming?
Mhm.
You're such a weirdo out here filming
Mhm.
college students. What do you mean I'm weird? I'm out here. Like, what do you mean? I'm out here, live streaming. It's no different than if I Show Speed or Kai Cenat came to Arizona. You know what I mean? So it's like the funniest shit is definitely on.
Definitely, guys, check that out if you want.
I would have to agree. There's a lot of funny stuff on
Yeah.
Mel, but it's also just some of these police officers in general. There's so many of them that misquote the law or doesn't understand the law themselves when we're out there.
Mhm.
That makes for really good content in that aspect. Because, like, bro, you're sitting out here telling us that we don't know something, but you're completely misquoting the law.
Mhm. And I think that's important too, because I know, like, sometimes I know that there's been times specifically when you guys catch things. Like, I know I've specifically been on yours, Justin, where you'll catch something and, like, especially with the DUI thing, or like where they think they have probable cause, like check some guys like freaking fast car or whatever, or judge it because he has that certain type of car or whatever, and they know their rights, and you record them arguing with the police, and it's not that they're being defiant, it's not that they're being dicks or whatever, they know their rights, but then the cops get all indignant of the fact that they know more than them, and then you catch that. So, and I know you've offered specifically people like, hey, I have this on live right now, I can send you footage, like DM me, whatever. Do you do that as well, Tippy?
Yeah. That's what when I'm out there and people are asking me, like, what are you doing? I'm like, relax a little, I'm out here for you and your people. In the event that these officers are beating your homie up, beating your brother up, your girlfriend, I have the video.
Exactly.
95% of the time, these people are being released from jail the next morning.
Right.
And they open TikTok and the video is right there. They're messaging me, like, can I get the just the original version,
Another thing is when some of these people get mad at us when we're out there recording, is a lot of them will sit there and when they see their friend actually get hurt or then violate their rights, then they automatically turn to us after sitting there and badgering us for the longest. They'll turn and say, "Hey, can you send me that footage?" It's like, dude, that's what we're doing.
Right, that part.
What the hell do you not understand? That's what we're doing.
Yes.
You're yelling at us,
Yes.
and cussing at us, threatening.
I'll have people come up and like just immediately start cussing me out. Like, dude, I'm trying to tell you, I'm here for your person. If you need the footage, I got it. And they'll continue doing everything all the way up until their homies are placed in the detention van and being taken away. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I get that video now? Can I get your phone number? No.
Nope, because you're rude.
Nope, because you wanted to be rude. I told you that if you wanted it, I'm here for it. Now you and your homie have to find it.
Tough shit.
So you guys, if you are out there and you are watching my live streams or you recognize me out there, understand what I'm doing. I have the video for you guys. If you ruin it by acting an asshole, you may have to find the footage on your own.
And you guys have every right to do that.
Me, for the most part, if they're authentically apologizing and shit, like a lot of them I can understand that they're intoxicated when we're especially out at meal. But if they're authentic, if I feel like they're being authentic, then I'll be like, yeah, just hit me up for the footage. I'll get it to you later. But if I don't feel like they were apologetic at all, I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with you. You know what I mean? Like,
and you have every right to do that because that's the thing. Because since you guys aren't paid by anybody,
but we still post it online.
Yeah, exactly.
So they
can figure it out. They can work for it at least. But that's the thing I value about you guys, because you guys do this on your own accord. You guys know the risks, and you're your own bosses. You get to choose what you share with people. You get to choose who you help out or who you don't, and it's all based on their behavior. So I feel like it's in everybody's benefit to act right and treat everybody with respect. Personally,
but I also do want to let people be aware that when you are out here filming the stuff with the cops and stuff like that, you need to have in the back of your mind that like anything and everything is used in court.
Yep.
So you got to realize like some of the stuff you are posting will help the cops. So like a lot of the stuff that I find now does not get posted because the cops have openly told me down on Mill Avenue, like, yo, thank you. Your videos have helped us. Blah blah blah. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not posting nothing unless the community must know.
That's
because
good.
Now, like it sucks because people are being held because of my video.
Yeah, and that's I feel like that is the downside. But the thing is, ultimately, it's their actions that get them in trouble. Like, you are just there to record and show what people is happening. So if it wasn't for them acting or saying what they did, then they wouldn't get themselves in trouble. And that's the thing. Is like, everybody sees cameras, you know, and again, because they're in a public place, you guys are able to record, and everything's online now. Like, and you guys have the discretion. So especially if someone's asked to you guys, it's more than likely it's going to be posted, especially if it's good content or it's something that they need to see or whatever. They run that risk of, you know, people seeing like their jobs or whatever. That thing, everybody has to be held accountable. And I feel like a lot of these people in this generation, especially internet trolls, they don't understand that. Like, I think a lot of people in general, regardless of what you're doing, they don't get held accountable. They're all the kids that get, you know, the participation trophies, those type of people, you know what I mean? And they don't, or the parents that don't, you know, what's it called, gentle parenting, all that bullshit. Like, they don't get it. Like, your actions have consequences. When you say something, you don't get to just not deal with it. You know what I mean? Your actions have consequences. Whether you're drunk or sober or whatever, if you're disrespectful, if you break the law, you're going to get in trouble, period. So don't act a fool. That's just how I feel about it. So what else? Okay, so what else would you guys want the public to know who are watching this right now? Good, bad, or indifferent? Is there like a warning, or is there like, you know, bullet points that you guys want to say if someone wants to do what you guys do?
When you get pulled over, don't say shit to the cops. Like, don't tell them, yeah, I was drinking, yeah, I was doing that. Say as little as you can, because the more you say, the more trouble you're going to get into. The more they're going to use against you.
I'm going to say, if you are trying to get involved with what we are doing, you know, reach out. I'm down to take you out. We're down to take you out. But I want everybody to understand and realize that this is fun, but it's all fun and games until you start experiencing the stuff I have. I know Justin has experienced some crazy shit, but I believe that I have seen stuff in the last 10 years that the average person does not see in life. You know, you do have the possibility of seeing somebody's life leave this earth.
Yep.
And I have seen it happen a handful of times. I have seen scenes that even officers haven't seen. You know, like, they see the aftermath. I've seen shit firsthand. So if you guys are trying to do this, please be aware that, like, mental health breaks, decompression breaks, it's very needed.
And anybody else also try to get into this, realize it's not a money grab either. A lot of people seem to think that while we're out here protesting or while we're out here recording these police, that we're getting paid for it. We don't get shit. I mean, we're sitting here doing this on our own free will, in our time, on our dime.
Right.
Doing this. Yes, some people give us gifts and shit here and there, but that doesn't even cover the gas, any of that we're doing. We're all across town in split seconds. I mean, I've followed chases from Phoenix all the way out to Mesa. I know other people have followed it up to other cities and shit also. I mean, we just get around everywhere, and it's on our own dime.
Exactly.
So, like, we appreciate everybody that donates and gives us. That helps us out a little bit, but it still doesn't cover what we're doing. Everything we're doing is on our own dime.
Right. Yeah, you're not doing it for money either.
Nothing we do.
Not at all.
Nothing we do makes a living wage. So if you guys are trying to come out here thinking that we're fucking making money and we got like a mansion down the way, we don't. We don't. We can barely fucking buy a
Red Bull.
You know?
Right. Yeah, and I think that's another reason why I wanted to have you guys on, because I wanted people to really realize what you guys do, because you guys want to do it. You don't get the money for it unless people donate. Period.
If we were trying to get money off of this, why would we be trying to bring other people in and trying to help other people do this? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're here for the community ourselves, because shit, that's where all the money would be going, right?
Right. Yeah.
Here's $1 for you.
That's the thing too, and I feel like that goes to show you even more that you guys are here for the community, because you don't get paid. You are trying to help others, whether they end up being somebody worthy of like being on your guys, not even on your level, because you guys are like up here, but like even just to help out a little bit, and you guys train them, or like kind of show them the ropes. They choose to either go with you guys or go against you guys, or think that they know everything or whatever, but they don't. Like, there's nothing, like, I'm sure, like, you obviously, you know, like, you're up here because you started longer and then obviously Justin and like the newbies and stuff like that. But if people aren't willing to take your guys' advice, go on, hit you guys up to go on your ride along or whatever the case may be, like they're doing their sums of an injustice, and they don't get the behind the scenes footage of whatever we don't see even on live, and that it is dangerous and it is risky. It's not just fun. It's not just watching some kid try to take off and get tased and make a weird noise. Like the other day, like that was freaking hilarious. Yes.
Like 2-3 years ago, we were just filming cops.
Mhm.
We got fucking ICE agents running around now. Like I
Mhm.
have a video that's been seen over 50,000 times right now of ICE taking somebody from literally across the street from my house, and like they're taking pictures of our face, putting us in databases,
Mm.
trying to scare us
Well,
away.
while we're doing this stuff, we've had officers point weapons at us. We've
Right.
had ICE agents point weapons at us. I had that incident in South Tempe where ICE pulled out firearms.
Yep. Mhm.
I mean, it's dangerous what we're doing,
Mhm.
and a lot of people ask us, "Well, why are we doing this? Like, it has to be for the money." It's not. Like you
Mm-mm.
said, it's not for the money.
It's for the
There's no
community.
money. We're doing it to inform people and help people, and we're risking it all out there.
Exactly, and that's why you guys deserve all the respect. And people, I hope when they see this, they kind of get everything put in perspective. You actually have a comment right now on Facebook from Ramon Crawford that says, "I support what y'all do, brother, and did this."
Appreciate it.
That's the homie.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
Good.
homie.
And then Sarah Rocha put earlier, "There's no good cops." But I mean, I don't think that's 100% true.
So it's
It's kind of a thing. Like there's decent cops, but I don't think that every cop. We can sit there and say that one cop's good. I've had good interactions with some of these officers, but then I've seen them do some fucked up things afterwards.
There's definitely two types of cops. You have the cop that wants to make a change, and then you have the cop that's just trying to get paid.
Right. Yeah.
85% of that population of cops is just trying to get paid, while that 15% is now looking like that 85%
Hmm.
just because it's the outlier.
Right. Okay, so again, like I know I have you guys' little handles and whatnot, but tell people where they can follow you at, where they get the best footage and all that fun stuff, and how often you guys go live.
You can find me live really at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what's gonna pop up.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on TikTok, Tempe Against Police Violence, YouTube, Tempe Against Police Violence, Instagram, TAPV_4. Those still search Tempe Against Police Violence. You're gonna find everything. I'm on Twitter. It's each place is going to get different types of content because obviously each one is ran a different way, monitored a different way. Like TikTok, I can't post somebody. But YouTube and Twitter, I can.
Exactly, yeah. And then Justin too.
Yeah, I stand on mine on TikTok. I post some content on Instagram, not a lot. I'm not really too active on Instagram. I record like full protests whenever I'm out on YouTube. Whenever I'm out at like big protests, I'll try to catch everything on the iPad on there. But other than that, I don't post much content on there. I want to start getting more on Kick.
Oh, okay.
You can actually show a lot more on Kick, but there's not a lot of people following. So if we could eventually get that started up, we'll get more and more explicit content that we can't show on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
And would you guys say, so I know that I've seen personally like that I don't see a lot of news reporters at a lot of the places that you're at unless it's like something really, really big. Like I just saw that 3-car accident. We couldn't figure out who started it or whatever. I just saw that on the news. But other than that, like especially on Mill, I rarely see anybody like actual news reporters on there. Like what would you say is something that like have you ever guys got hit up by like the news and they wanted your footage or no?
You could literally Google like Darian Barrett, Tempe, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe Against Police Violence. Not only come across every fucking article that holds a mugshot and a story about my arrest, but stories about DPS troopers not responding to a shooting victim in time. They'd rather finish up a traffic citation. the John Kavanaugh, one of the Senate bill makers, tried to build a 8-foot distance recording law a few years back, and the news kept hitting me up like, "Oh, can we get your statement on this unconstitutional bill that John Kavanaugh is trying to make? Oh, we've seen that you were arrested at the protest. Are you going to give a statement?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm always being hit up by like media.
Mm-hmm. And do you guys get offered? Because I've seen some. I don't know if it's true, but do they offer you money for your
No, you
stuff?
need to have a contract with them.
I've never got offered any money from the news agencies. Like they've hit me up and asked me questions about certain incidences I've been at, but they've never offered any money. Not for photos, not for videos, not for nothing.
Dang, because I know that there's some things like in some of the movies that they show, like there's a couple guys that like are supposedly like how you guys are, that they show in the movies where they film something and then they hit up all the news things and they bid against each other.
So
is that like a thing?
Our friend Miles and Jack, like they are the ones who put out the videos to the news. They have a contract with the news that pays them. Once they give that footage up, they aren't allowed to use those clips on their personal profiles because that news now holds the rights and owns those videos.
But see, the problem with that, not speaking bad on anything that they do, because they're legitimately good dudes.
Yeah.
They're selling that footage over, they lose all narrative to that story.
That's true.
So the news gets put out whatever they want to put out for that story, and it can be inaccurate as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going back to saying like how things are said wrong. We were out there at the ICE facility at the field office during that protest not long ago, and they put out a police call saying that we were throwing rocks at the ICE facility, and nobody threw no rocks there. Like I was on live the entire fucking night, and I think you were live that night too.
No, I was just I watch everything when I'm out there at the protest.
But we pay attention because we look for people that are trying to purposely agitate and do shit.
Right.
So we pay close eye to them.
Right.
Nobody was throwing no rocks. They said that the report came in. It was a hot call to Phoenix PD saying that we were throwing rocks at the facility. Almost all the protesters were already gone when this alert came out. We come back, we record. As we're recording, coming back on the facility, Fox News is already out there recording the story. So they get to push whatever narrative they want for the protest. But we were out there recording, showing that there was no criminal damage. And Fox News reporters started walking away real fast as soon as they realized we were on live, showing there's no damage to the facility.
What the hell? What would you think is, with all your guys' experience, what would be the purpose of that? Like, what do you think is the reason why they do that kind of shit? Is it because of
false narratives?
Yeah.
They just want to push a false narrative. They wanted to. With the way the news goes, they know that the Republicans and the far right, the extreme right, they're watching, and they'll get a spun off story. Oh, the protesters down at the ICE facility are throwing rocks. Now you got 200 Trumpies doing fucking Trump trains all across the nation and fucking up protesters.
And everybody seems to think that everybody out here protesting or doing what we do, that every single one of us are liberals or Democrat, whatever. But there's a lot of independents that are out there. I personally consider myself an independent. I used to lean more towards the right, towards the Republican side on a lot of their views. But through this administration, I've been kind of leaning more left and being like, yo, everything they're doing is fucked up and wrong. And they're violating our Constitution and hurting fucking people. It's just too much.
Right. Yeah. I just think, have you guys noticed, like, if you guys were doing this before the current administration was in power, do you guys feel like it's gotten worse dealing with things in general, or do you think it's the same or better? Or
I definitely think that the Trump administration has beefed up the way that local law enforcement everywhere reacts. You can't go anywhere without a cop. You can't walk up behind a cop without them immediately reaching for their sidearm and thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna be ambushed. I'm gonna be ambushed." Fucking leaves falling from the trees and somebody steps on it.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that has to do with their trauma. You know what I mean? Because I know I was jumpy. I got beat as a kid, so it took a long time for me to not react to noises and stuff like that. And the thing is, I can only imagine, since they aren't coping with their issues and seeing all the things that they see, that they are going to be jumpy, and then the people get affected by that. You know what I mean? They get punished for that when they're just living their life.
We can understand some of that to a degree, but
Yeah,
I mean, at a certain point, these officers need to take a breath and
exactly. That's exactly. They need to deal with their mental health. They need to know that everybody's not against them. I know it's hard because a lot of people are against them, and they do have a dangerous job, and they have to be on their feet and be aware, just like how you guys have to be aware and stuff like that. But you don't punish everybody for one person's mistake type thing.
Well, the thing is, Mesa PD, especially Mesa PD, uses it as an excuse like, hey, well, we don't know if you're out here to hurt us or if you're out there to do whatever. That's why we did this.
We don't know who you are.
They use it as an excuse, but in the meantime, they'll sit there and use that excuse, but they'll know who we are as soon as we arrive there. But then they'll tell us that same sentence in the very next line. That sentence, the very next line. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you just walked up and said, "Oh, hey, Darian, hey, Tempe, why you out here in Mesa? Thought you'd be in Tempe." And then you're like, "Why did you guys do all this?" Oh, because we don't know if you're here to hurt, bro. You know what we do,
right?
Exactly. Like you already know. You called them out by name, and then you're going to tell me, and the next sentence, well, I don't know if you're out here to hurt us.
What, ever hurt you?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy. And I hope that there are some cops watching this or will watch it, because I know.
Oh, they definitely are. They watch us.
Oh, I know, and I have heard.
The news reporters watch us, and the police watch us. We know this because they'll tell us. They watch us.
Yeah, I've been on their lives when they've said that, or they're like, hey, or they'll recognize you guys. But especially on Mill Avenue, you guys all have like a relationship with the cops and stuff, which it is nice to see. Like, I personally love when I always like shout that out in the comments and stuff when I see that the cops are cool, they're respectful of you guys, they knew you by name. Or one time when I saw on your live, just in that there was a lady trying to act like she knew everything or whatever at this apartment thing, and you were following the rules or whatever, and so the girl tried to snitch on you and tell a cop like, this guy's doing this, that, and he's like,
he's recording
it's
your
fine.
vehicle, and he's like, it's fine.
Yeah, and I'm like, yes. And I'm like, because I feel like that's important when there is cops out there that do vouch for you guys, that do respect what you guys are doing, that see that you guys aren't doing anything wrong.
She was snitching on me for reporting his cat because he left his cat open. They're supposed to close their cats or turn them off because that's their policy. They're not supposed to leave them open or on. So when I recorded it, she's like, "You're not supposed to be recording that." And I was like, "Anything I can see from public eye, from public view, I can fucking record." So,
Exactly.
I mean, so when she told the officer was like, "That's fine." He's like, "Have a good night."
And I love that. And then the other day when that kid wanted to think that he could run with freaking chanclas on and I think he's gonna get away. And then he got the kid, and then he didn't do it, even though he was I don't assume anybody's ethnic background, but he looked Hispanic, and then the kid looked African American, and he did not treat him with disrespect. He literally he only tased him. He did not pull out his weapon. He tased him. He did not squish him.
To kind of compose himself before he helped get him up.
That part, and he literally, and then he kind of played and he did it in a respectful way.
Go back to one of my videos on there. That goes back to like one of my videos out there where I was watching state troopers, and there were some guys, they were drinking in their vehicle, but they weren't being aggressive with the cops. You know, they weren't being aggressive with the troopers. And when the trooper brought them out, I'm recording the vehicle. I see the trooper go to the truck and go to put the person into the back seat of the crew cab, and then he sees me over there recording, and he starts walking around the other side. So I start walking over that way, and when he brings the guy over there, he slammed his head down into the seat, and then tried folding him up in there. Then he wasn't even fighting. So,
seeing that part makes me sick. Like when they act like that and for no reason, like they're not resisting, they're complying, everything, and then they do that and they excessive force and shit like that, and people get hurt. They die. It's like, is it really worth it? Is your testosterone, is your freaking ego that big that you need to be extra hard and muscular and whatever, and then you end up killing a kid or breaking somebody's neck or back or whatever? Like, is it really worth it? Like, what does that get you? You know what I mean? It's like, if you're at that level of your job where you're that effed up and you just think everybody's the worst and you have to act like that, then I think that you need to retire. And I feel like that's a big thing that we need.
I think we're all under agreement with that. If you cannot compose yourself to a certain degree, then you should just quit. Set your badge down, set your firearm down, and walk away.
Exactly. And I feel like they need, like they do with every, like a lot of positions in power, like they do, like, you know, the assessments and blah blah blah. I feel like the public needs to know these assessments on these cops. They need to be like a mandatory, go through the psychology training, they need to be assessed every 3 to 5 years, depending on what they're doing, and
I think
get a medical clearance.
I think every
6 to 8 months.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think it's important and it's not even if they're a good cop, we want to keep them a good cop. At least once a year.
Sure.
Yeah, like the PIP, your performance evaluation. Like if you're at a normal customer service job or whatever, the people that have weapons and are in charge of keeping us safe and protecting and serving us, they need to be checked on. You know what I mean? Because it's I don't think how they say oh, there's not bad animals, it's just bad pet owners or whatever the hell.
They need to start holding more officers accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they start holding more officers accountable, these officers would quit violating people's rights.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see other officers be able to get away with shit,
Mm-hmm.
they just figure, well, fuck it, I can just do whatever I want to do because I'll get away with it too.
Right. Yeah. Do you guys think, and your guys' opinion from what you guys see and know and everything? So I feel like the body cameras help, but I also know that they make excuses of saying oh, I forgot to turn it on or whatever. Do you think are they allowed? Do you guys know if they're allowed to, edit that in any way or anything like that?
There's a specific person within the department that is allowed to, edit those type of things, but it's not necessarily an edit that you think when you're putting your YouTube video up there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll cut out dead space and stuff like that. They are more or less redacting, so blurring out any sensitive information, muting the mic when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So social security numbers, addresses, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that helps hold them accountable now that they have their
no,
mandatory?
Because now they are using AI
Really?
to do everything.
Really?
Body cam reviews, police reports. It's just
I did not know that.
AI is taking over everything.
I didn't know that.
And
They
AI
did a
isn't
cop
even
report.
as accurate as it needs to be.
Well, definitely not.
That's why we're getting bans all the time due to stuff where we're allowed to video and record on here according to TikTok's policies.
Mm-hmm.
But since they got an AI database that monitors everything, it will kick us off for things that we wouldn't have been kicked off for
Right.
an actual person.
Exactly, and that's what I don't understand either. And especially when it comes to cop reports, how the hell can they even train an AI to do what they do
AI
when
can
they didn't
almost
see
be
it?
trained to do anything nowadays.
For sure, but if you're not there to see it, you can't write a report on it. You know what I mean? They can just give you they would have to speak to the AI and be like, hey, I saw this, that, and the other. But if they leave that out, the AI is not going to report it. You know what I mean? Only the people can.
But see, another problem we have out here is that these police don't have to have a dash cams out here.
What?
So there's a lot of things that they can say when they're pulling over
So
somebody. They just can't see.
Gilbert PD has gotten dash cams installed within the last 2 or 3 years. And then down south, once you start getting into Santana Valley, leading into Pima, now they all got dash cams, but the more prominent departments up here in the valley, such as Scottsdale Mesa, Phoenix, Tempe, Glendale, they all lack dash cams. And I feel like a lot of these vehicles need to have not only dash cam, but in-cab footage.
I think so too. I think it's important to see. I don't know where it is, but I've seen it on TikTok where it's the interior facing the alleged criminals or whatever in the back and recording stuff.
Yeah,
There's people that admit shit while they're sitting there.
I think they need to install the same cameras that they put on city buses.
Yeah.
The little 360 fisheye looking camera
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of a cop car. You have the cop in the front, you have you have the whole
Everything all at once.
bird's eye view of everything in the car.
I totally agree for sure. So let's see what else. Okay, so is there anything else that you guys want to share with the viewers, or with maybe that is something that you guys have noticed throughout during your time that you're people really need to know this, whether good, bad, or indifferent? Is there anything specifically that you would want the public to know about either what you guys do or what they need to be aware of to protect themselves as citizens?
Just be aware that you are, anytime you step outside and you see a cop, you are at risk of being arrested. So trust your gut and do what you can to be able to record and get everything out there, while at the same time making sure you make it home.
Yeah, definitely. super important. With your guys' families, I know, Justin, that your daughter and your wife are somewhat involved. Do you have anybody that's like comes with you all the time that you're like kind of go at risk for coming along with you?
My girlfriend, we started going to the ICE protest together. Within the first couple visits, ICE agents tackle her for no fucking reason.
What?
To this day,
What?
To this day, she questions herself, like, why did they do it?
Yeah.
She wants to know why they did it. So
Right.
she, every time sees, why did you do it? Why did you do it? But, she supports what I do. She understands the dangers in it. My family understands the dangers. My family is pro law enforcement leaning big time. Police ran in my family. People who served ran in my family. But at the end of the day, everybody around me just wants to make sure that I'm coming home and I'm safe.
Is there any calls that you guys get over the scanner that you guys will stay away from?
Just simple medical calls. Anything really involving children.
Okay. Yeah, I have noticed you guys don't do. I don't know if it's because it was nighttime or what, but I don't really see a lot of kids on your guys'
Like that.
thing.
When I got arrested live on Sunday, 2,000 people watching me record a truck that flipped over. I don't ever record car accidents, and I got arrested at it.
What
I don't
the
ever
hell?
record car accidents. I don't record medical. My favorites are traffic stops, DUI, and anything that has officers running around with shields and their guns out.
And I'll record everything else while I'm looking to find that stuff.
Right. Yeah, because that's what I was
I'll try not to. Like I said, I'll try not to record children, but I have showed up at investigation scenes where like teenagers have got hit with firearms, and QQ. And I've even showed up to scenes where they were doing an active investigation where I found out that something happened to a child within the home or whatever. And it's like, bro, like it makes you feel very uneasy when you're at those types of scenes. But if I'm at those types of scenes, I'm trying to figure out what happened to the child, who hurt that child. It's not trying to record any children. It's trying to record and find out what happened.
Right. Yeah, and that's important because I think it's very, very important to show that you guys don't glorify anything. You're not there to get gruesome scenes. You're not there to get drama.
It's not necessarily that we're out there trying to avoid the gruesome scenes. The gruesome scenes are inevitable.
Yeah.
You're going to come across them. My most memorable call is St. Patrick's Day 2023. I'm filming a DPS trooper, like I said, doing a traffic stop. And at 48th Street and Broadway, this car is shot up. And I'm talking to the point 4 people are shot inside the vehicle. And one of them was a 5-year-old boy shot in the back of the head. And I tell this cop because I realize, like, in the background, everybody just ran from this car. I tell this cop, yo, there's like road rage or a fight happening in the intersection. He tells me, you go deal with it. So what do? I keep recording. I run out to the car and I hear this little 3-year-old, help me, help me. At this point, I still don't know that this 5-year-old is in the back seat, literally taking his last couple of breaths.
Oh my God.
And like, this is something you can literally Google and find. I'm telling you, Tempe Darian Barrett, Tempe, Arizona. And you'll see it.
That's crazy. So after the cop realized that there was a child in there, did he then act right?
No,
or
he literally finished up the traffic citation and then leisurely cruised over to the car. And like the whole time I'm on the phone with Tempe PD, crying my fucking eyes out because I just seen this 5-year-old kid taking his last breath.
That's rough, dude.
It's very rough. So it's not necessarily that we are avoiding the gruesome scenes. You do not know what is coming around the corner.
That's true.
Some of these scenes we pull up to, we don't know exactly what's happening when we pull up to, but we can't record them on TikTok and social media. They end up on our phone and they end up just as memories of a scene that we were at because we can't post them anywhere. And some of them we don't even want to talk about because it's just shit that we've seen that's just fuck.
And do you think that's beneficial to like at your own discretion to kind of censor that stuff without feeling like you're hiding anything? Or
I would say it's just beneficial for your own mental health being, and then for those who love our content but have certain trigger warnings. I personally try to avoid posting anything that has some sort of trigger, whether it's fighting, domestic, guns, suicide, anything like that. I try to be very careful. My main focus is rights violations, officer involved shootings, and ICE right now. Everything.
In avoiding, like you said, avoiding, there's certain things that I do avoid, like we said, the kids thing, but there's also things where people are having a mental health breakdown where they're going to go up, they're claiming to go unalive themselves or whatever, and us being there to record and do that shit right there, it's not going to be beneficial to that person because they're already in a bad mental state,
right?
And us recording it or being present there isn't going to help them at all because they're just going to get triggered more from whatever's bothering them. So at that point, I step away from those type of scenes. Like there's an incident happening on 7th Ave or 7th Street last night in Roosevelt where a person had a firearm to their chin.
What the hell?
And I know that another streamer went out there and recorded it. But scenes like that, I stay away from just because I don't want that person to see me out there recording and thinking that, hey, well, we're out there making fun of them or making them feel a certain way.
I have a situation that's very similar to what he is talking about. But like I said, I chase for that kind of stuff. I filmed at 43rd Ave in Indian School literally like 2-3 weeks after the situation with the 5-year-old in Tempe. There's a guy who was shooting his gun in the air outside the Fry's, Burger King, and everything that's over there. And Phoenix PD arrives. They surround him. I'm across the street hiding behind a wall at the car wash. And this dude's saying, I want to talk to my family. They contact the family. Something goes on during the standoff. Everything goes south. The guy was like, you won't let me talk to my family? Had the gun to his chin. Blew his shit open.
My God.
And, so it's like I said, the gruesome stuff is unavoidable at times.
Sheesh.
Like he said, he stayed around for a few minutes. When I want to be able to catch everything, whether it's graphic or not, I do have the ability to censor graphic stuff, but still provide it in the rawest form that people do not get triggered. So I apply a medium blur while still being able to see that there was no cuts. I upload an uncut, uncensored version. In the event families finds it, like I said, 43 in Indian School, this guy blew his shit open, and 2 days later, his whole family across the United States is reaching out, trying to figure out like what happened. Why didn't they get a hold of us?
And see, here's where I kind of like differ on that. Like we differ a little bit on certain things. Like my thing about recording certain things is like some things, like somebody being busting their head when they fell drinking or whatever that has to be medically taken. I try to avoid getting them on there because I don't want their family to see that person. Yeah. If they do happen to pass, you know what I mean? I don't want the last thing that they see of that person being that. So we vary on different things on these topics. It gets very tough on what we can or cannot put out there for people. And I'm pretty sure you've seen the video. Like I'm going back to like the 304 stuff. If I happen to record an incident where like the 304s are out there, I put blur filters over body parts that are
Mhm.
showing. If
Mhm.
there's any showing that I feel like a little bit too much,
Mhm.
I'll blur it out so that it's not out there
Mhm.
being publicized for it.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's good to show as much as you can without triggering somebody or without getting banana off social media and stuff like that. Do you think that, or have you guys experienced like where your account specifically? 'Cause I know you guys both have backup accounts. Is it because do you think it's the platform or do you think it's the people that get you guys in
It's
trouble?
the reach that TikTok has.
Mm.
It has the ability to reach thousands of people in a matter of minutes.
Mhm.
It was 2:30 in the morning when I got arrested, and I had 2,000 people watching me. 2,000 people who got stuffed inside of an evidence bag.
Mhm.
You know, I think, especially with the recent buyout of TikTok, the rich white men buying out TikTok, 85% of it. I haven't necessarily seen any censorship. I think I've actually been able to post a bit more graphic than what I used to.
Yeah, recently I've noticed that too, that the censorship hasn't been that bad over the past probably about month and a half.
Mhm. It's good. You actually have somebody from Guad News channel. It says Si se fuere, my homeboy. So I don't know.
That's what's up, William? What's up,
He looks
William?
important from his
William
profile.
Robles.
Yeah.
Shout out Guadalupe.
Is he one of your guys, or is he like
He's one of the OG cop watchers.
Oh, okay.
He films the sheriff's ICE and Tempe PD out there in Guadalupe. He focuses on human rights activism. He's been protesting since the Sheriff Joe Arpaio days. So he's another good guy. He's just been going through a lot of issues that limits him to being able to do what he used to love doing. So William, I appreciate you coming in and watching.
Like we said, Tempe's been more mainstream protesting for the longest, but I've been speaking out against Arpaio and stuff like that for years too. I just haven't been more in the mainstream or as active as he has. He's been really active since he started. When he says active, I'm talking about I've organized over 200 protests since 2016.
Wow.
I've organized protests that have drawn in numbers between 100. Let's be honest. 5 people to 100 to even 5,000 people.
Wow.
And so it's like I'm known out there. My face is known. My voice is known. My voice is extremely distinctive. I'm recognized almost daily now because of my voice. I can't dress up like Antifa anymore because I have a distinctive voice. My walk is very familiar because I tore my ACL back in the day. So it's like what he's saying is very fucking true. I'm mainstream. I'm known. Unlike him, he's getting out there.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get too big headed.
Yeah, both y'all.
Like I said, we ain't worried about that anyway. Being like mainstream activists, that's not the point that matters. Because it matters about just getting the word out there and helping people. That's what it really fucking matters.
Guad News also says, I have a few videos of you protesting and getting arrested by Tempe police. Dun, dun, dun. Well, we know that you guys are real ones, so that is good. You guys do not fake funk at all, and we do appreciate you. It's at that mark now where we don't want to do it too long and get too crazy. So we do about usually an hour of podcasting. So is there any final remarks that you guys want to say, whether you want to plug your stuff, whether you want to give more warnings, whether you want to end on a, some kind of mantra or whatever? It's now your platform. You should end
it off by saying, you want to come out and you want to join us, this is going to all 4 platforms that are running right now. If you want to come out, if you want the opportunity to see what we see, whether you want to get out of the car or stay in the car and stay at a safe distance, reach out to either me or Justin. You can reach out to Vendor Vision to see how you can contact us. We're open for it, but be aware that arrests are very likely. You may not go home. And you do not make a living wage off of any of this. We are not Mr. Beast. We are not any of that.
And even if we were, even if we made money doing this stuff, it'd go back into what we're doing.
Right.
Anyways, you know what I mean? Like any money that I was making when I used to do DoorDash and shit, I put every bit of money into buying flags, buying poster boards, and shit like that. So it wasn't like I was making any money. Any money that I got was literally going into protest.
Right. Yeah. That's how it is, man.
But other than that, I think everything else.
Thank you to everybody that supports
say,
us, follow us, and
I want to say thank you to Vendor Vision for having us,
Yeah.
Justin for coming out and dealing with my bullshit. Because he knows when he's with me, shit can go sideways real quick. Either I'm getting arrested or something's popping up. So other than that, thank you for having us and giving us the space to bullshit around.
giving us a platform to actually speak on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do this again sometime. And he wanted to try to get somebody else out with this, but that didn't seem to pan out yet. But maybe we can come back some other time and have a little bit more knowledge and get some more shit together before we do this.
Of course, it's the least I can do because I value what you guys do. I see the value in it, and I want you guys to be able to speak on it without working. You know, I feel like when you guys are out there, you can only do so much because you're paying attention to your surroundings to keep you guys safe. So I feel like this is the least I could do. Representing the community to get them more knowledge about like what you guys do, what the risks you guys take, and how serious this really is, and the value it is.
Sometimes when we don't respond, when we're not responding, we're actually surveying what's around us, because sometimes there's a lot of people. We have had people that's watched us on these videos that come out to. A lot of people just came out to say like thank you for what you're doing, but we also have had people out there stalking us. I've had people on my lives threaten me and end up showing out at lives.
Don't do that, people.
It's kind of like sometimes when we go dead quiet, there's too much going around us that we gotta pay more attention to what's going on.
People do freak out. Oh, why is he not reading the chat? Why is he not reading the chat? A lot of the times you do not realize that just around that corner, somebody is peeking at us and acting weird. That car had just pulled into the parking lot. So we got to treat everything not only with, awareness of the cops, but we got to treat everything with a threat assessment, especially in some of these neighborhoods out here.
Yep, I know. That's why it's important to have moderators that you can trust. Like I'm a moderator for Justin, and I try to keep him as safe as possible. And when I see, because you are very, very good at responding back to people. And when I know that you're not, I know that there's a reason for it. And so, especially when it's the same shit over and over and over again, everybody's like, what happened? Where are you? Where are you?
And sometimes we're in the scene where we're trying to figure out what exactly happened.
Right.
And sometimes the only way that we can hear is if we quit talking for a while to actually hear what's being said.
Right.
Hear what the officers say and hear what the suspect or victim saying. That's the only way that we'll have the actual information. Because sometimes we have to speculate what possibly happened there, and we hate doing that. But we can only say, "Hey, this is what we think might have happened," and that's it. We're not trying to put out a false narrative. We're just saying, "Hey, this is what I suspect, but I don't know."
Exactly, and it's also developed. You guys are on scene pretty darn early, so it's like it's developing.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that like we're on scene early. It's rare that we get there on time or before them. A lot of the times we are getting there in the midst of it. And a lot of people will be asking us, oh, what's going on? What's happening? I don't know, you guys.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
And like that goes back to what Justin's saying.
Yeah.
We end up going silent because we're trying to listen.
And figure out what's going on.
And then you have me who's had fucking flashbangs blown up in his ears in 2020 during protests, trying to listen, and I can't hear anything. So people are just like, what's happening? I don't know, you guys.
Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Leave me alone. Give me a second. Yeah, that's what I mean by not early, because obviously not early, but like when you guys get to the hall, you show up, and then you're assessing the situation, because you guys aren't detectives. You guys aren't trained on every little thing. You don't know who started it, what happened. You're pulling up and trying to figure out as it's happening.
Like you were saying earlier, some of these officers, you see that they're respectful to some of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've seen on my live where officers have literally came and gave me some of the information to the scene that I was on, because they know that I didn't have the information.
Right.
So I mean, some of these officers we do have a good rapport with, but we're not trying to make friends with these officers. That's why I got to make it known out there. We're not trying to make friends with these officers.
Right.
We're trying to see what's going on. We can be cordial with them. We can have a decent conversation. We can be friendly, but we're not trying to be friends.
Right. And you're definitely not working for them either.
It's one thing to be cool with them for a couple seconds, couple minutes while you're out there. But when you have officers watching your live stream and you're telling them like, yo, this person's breaking into the car, or you're accepting challenge coins from them, or you are actively texting them their personal phone numbers or their social media, we're not fucking with that. So if you're watching this, you know that I'm ending it at that.
If you know, you know.
Throw the names out.
Yep.
We can deal with you on the streets, but we're not trying to be.
We're not
in your
trying to be
personal life.
That part. And that's the thing too, is like, it is important that there's no reason why anybody, cops or you guys, have to be rude to each other. You guys, they know what you're doing, you know what they're doing, and there's no reason why you have to like actively be jerks to each other in any regard, you guys to them or them to you. And just because you're like show respect doesn't mean you guys are besties or anything like that. You know what I mean? And doesn't have to have a different type of narrative that it means something like there's
Somebody mentioned like, did I give you stickers? No, I don't have my stickers right now. I've lost them.
oh no.
But that goes back to, you know, like these videos of me giving cops stickers on Mill Avenue. A lot of people think, oh, you're being such a sweetheart giving these cops stickers. I'm giving cops in Tempe stickers that say Tempe against police violence.
Right.
They are accepting them. Like it's a subtle troll.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a way of trolling them subtly.
Yeah, and they accept it, so hey, it's on them.
Yeah.
So they want to play around too, I guess. You know, just like the guy that took that one kid down, he smirked at you guys like that were off on the side, like he's like, oh, he did it, only thought he could run to the like, and he like smirked and like kind of played along with you guys without, you know, being unprofessional or like not streaming away from his job, you know, because it is kind of funny, you know, especially the noise that kid made when he fell down, like, you know, and,
that was just epic because the dude screamed.
yeah.
Like after he ran into the handles, he screamed, and then the cop just kind of like,
It's just, what the hell are you doing, kid?
I don't even know what the fuck's happening.
And I like that. I like to see the you know, more, you know, playful side of stuff because, you know, shit's serious all the time and sometimes you need to break that shit. So on that note, again, I appreciate you guys both coming. I appreciate you guys doing what you do. I want you guys to both be safe, happy, healthy, and keep doing what you're doing and being aware of your surroundings and people who are watching. Hopefully you'll learn some things tonight watching this, and you guys show them respect, follow them, you know, send them their gifts if you want. You don't have to, they don't require it, but they deserve it for sure, and just be nice, damn it. All right, then.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and close out.
All right, bye, guys.